What's up, everyone? We're just gonna do some Sprint CM practice rooms while we wait for the schedule, which should come out in about 2 hours. It'd be weird if they change the timing. But there's actually isn't even that much going on, I'd say, for the Sprint CM. I want to spend some time on the Racing Carnival, because like this is definitely going to come out. But it's actually kind of small in terms of like items on the... Like, I think it's going to be a small schedule. Probably because, you know, the first anniversary is going to be the month after, in March. And that one has a lot more things. Like, the only thing is just the Racing Carnival before we enter the first anniversary. The countdown might start. We might, like, at the very end of the schedules, like, see a countdown for it. King. But all I've been doing really is just doing like some Haru runs when I'm tired of like farming parents. Right now I'm trying to get a turf Akebono so I can finish up my Haru parents. But I've been like doing some runs. Like this is gonna be the one that I'm gonna be using during. This is not the one I'm gonna be using. This is the one I'm gonna be using, which only has turf C. I haven't even seen a turf B Haru yet, and I think I've done 8 runs now. But by the time we get to the start of the actual Sprint CM, I should, give or take, be able to get through like, I don't know, 80 runs, and hopefully at the end of those 80 runs, I do actually have the Haru. At least that's what I'm expecting. But like this is like the shopping list. I can get like 2,000, 2,100 SP, and like this is just probably the bare minimum I'm gonna go for. Just she gets meticulous measures from beating the JBC sprint, so like at least I'll guarantee have that. And then obviously I would like the Light Searcher corners. The other corner one, Professor Curvature, should buy its on because it's a 3-level discount because Haru is a scenario link. And then I just need on your left. No stopping me is just here if I have nothing else to use the SP on, which has been a lot of my runs, since I'm not bringing like a Turbo Sprint or a actually it's realistically just Turbo Sprint. I don't think countermeasures or Plan X is that great. Like the only thing that I could grab is Turbo Sprint over No Stopping Me, which I think is a better gamble. Late Surger, I think I'll have a harder time unless I'm passing somebody, but if I'm passing somebody as a Late Surger, I think I've already hit like on your left or any other Excel. But yeah, I don't think this Haru can win at all with Turf C. I think Turf B can win just because of like the nature of a Sprint CM without any like good Excel, but I definitely don't think Turf C can do it. So hopefully by the next time I stream rooms, I'll at the bare minimum have a Turf B Haru, but it's been like pretty consistent to like hit these. Like the other runs that I've glued were just like runs where I exited out at the second inspiration, because I usually do like 3 runs on a deck, and like this was a low roll, and like I can still max speed 1,900. So, and I think like I can accept these stat lines if I got Turf B or Turf A. Like I accept max speed 1,000, 1,000. So hopefully I can show off a Haru eventually once we get around there. Imagine a max limit break, nice nature, and 200 pulls. Is on your left reliable at all? Yes, actually, it's more reliable than like Rushing Gale or Turbo Sprint, because it has half the activation window. On your left, usually you only bring 2 sprints and miles, Those two are like a little bit more reliable. Well, mainly because on sprints and miles, like you need there isn't as much like acceleration, or like the late race isn't long enough to catch up to like a front runner. Not that you can use a front runner in the sprint one. So on your left is usually a sprint mile like exclusive skill. You shouldn't really try to bring it to a medium or a long, because you have things like no stopping me and like other forms of excel. But like a sprint or a mile is like the best time to try to shove in and on your left. But it's also like everyone's playing Pace Chaser. If you're a late surger on the sprints, like you kind of need on your left. Like you need as much as you can get. But yeah, the excels that I have, I don't know. I'm still iffy about grabbing Give Mummy a Hug on a late surger. Like I think if I had a different skill, I wouldn't spend the SP on it. But I think Redshift is fine. Like there's no way there's gonna be 4 late surgers in a room. Like I am expecting 5 Pace Chasers in almost every room, which is why I think I can get away with grabbing Redshift. I'd say overtake a Pace Chaser with like the unique, which would suck. But what are the odds that Pace Chaser ends up being 6 during the final leg? I think Redshift isn't strong enough. Like if you're 6th place the entire time until the final leg, I don't think Redshift is enough to carry you out of there. You tried making a Kawakami princess, but she never wins. Yeah, she just has a really bad kit. But I mean, a sprint CM is like the best time to make anything work. Especially this sprint CM when we don't have Nishino Flower or King Halo Cheerleader or like Ruby's skill, which I always forget the name of. Like when there isn't... Actually, in other sprints as well, like the final corner will be in the late race. This is like the only sprint CM in like the next years, or like the other 2 sprint CMs in like the next year. There's a corner in the final race or the final leg, so like it's more traditional in that sprint. But this one is like the only one realistically where like the final straight is at the start of the late race. I can't remember what the other track was. Let me pull it up. PvP. The Nakayama, yeah. That one has... Nakayama. Alright, this one will have a corner in the final leg. So, like, you can have a more traditional, like, game plan. Which is, you know, Midget Orion, angling and scheming from Saiyan Sky. I don't think is Nishino Flower out in time for this? The 8-13. The end of Man. Oh yeah, Nishino Flower will also be out for this. So there's like more game plans to this. Actually, even Taiki Shuttle could work, right? Because Taiki Shuttle's ult triggers right here. Like it'll just be more traditional of a race course. Taiki, Nishino Flower, Midget Orion, not Midget Dober. Midget Dober doesn't work on this track, but Midget Orion and Saiyan Sky. All those excels will work. I don't know if King Halo's out by then. Okay, King Halo would also work on this track. Which is... makes it like a little bit better than a slot machine for it. Let's do... Let me go ahead and get into my polls. Yesterday I forgot to do my single polls. Or yesterday I forgot to do the single poll. Also, I didn't say this because I wasn't 100% certain, but if you didn't do the 10 scout on the cross banner before it disappeared, you're able to do it on the Fuku banner, which is why I have a 10 poll here. But I wasn't 100% certain, so I didn't want to like say it. Well, it doesn't matter because I got nothing. I don't even know why we're watching this. Oh, there was 2 level ups. But yeah. I wasn't 100% certain, so I didn't want to like spread it and be wrong, but that was there. And nothing out of single poll. Well. Like, worst case, it's crazy. I got 2 Fukus on the first 10 pulls, right? That was the first 10 pull. Was the only 2 Fukus I ever got. The history doesn't even go back that far. And I haven't seen a Fuku in 300 pulls. Yours didn't appear to be free. If you pulled on Tamamo Cross today, you do not have the access to the pulls. So I did 40 pulls, or 43 pulls on Tamamo Cross, and now I'll have 60 on Fuku. But if you did the free 10 pull when you logged in, it doesn't care. It, like, you don't get to double dip. But I wasn't sure that's how it worked. So that's why I didn't want to. That's why I didn't say anything. I did say something on Discord, but I didn't want to like say like it was guaranteed, and then everyone lost the 10 pull. Yeah, so I've gotten 2 Fukus. So right now I'm at limit break 2 because I still have the supporter point transfers. And then Nice Nature on my limit break too. Let me uncap her. You got a 3-star from your 10 pull today. Someone didn't log in at all, but logged in today with a retrain 50. Yeah, if you didn't log in since the start of the New Year's event and you logged in right now, you should be able to do a 50 pull on Fuku and then claim the next 5 days of 10 pulls. Anyways, once we get to 400, which I should off the free pulls, I'll have at a minimum, I'm missing 1 Fuku copy and then missing 3 Nice Nature copies. So using 2 tickets and 2 crystals, I can max limit break both of them in time for the 3rd scenario. Was that the norm in JP? No, usually like they didn't cross over like that, which is, or maybe I'm just like misremembering it because it's been so long. Because I don't know if they do crossovers like that anymore. But I just wasn't certain because of that reason. Because a lot of times it's like during the same week. So like, for example, for the first Annie, like it'll last the entire week. Like it's usually on the same banner week, like it doesn't disappear. If I had Fuku and Nice Nature, what would my Borrow be? Like Fine Motion, most likely. Alright, let me see if I can pull up my deck. Fine Motion, and then once what do you call it? Once Throne comes out, I probably borrow that for the last 2 CMs. But my deck will most likely just be Kitasen. I don't know where my Fuku is. Like Kitasen, Fuku. Not Fine Motion. Marvelous, and then wherever Nishino Flower is. And then Nice Nature. And then I would borrow Fine Motion, or I borrow Dictus Guts and then replace replace this with like Digital or something. It's going from 5 months at a Fuku / Brian? Or do you mean Narita Top Road? I don't think you need Fuku or Narita Top Road. I think your count should always be at a bare minimum 1 speed, 1 wit. Like like a 1 speed and 1 wit card will always be in your deck. There'll never be a scenario where you'll never have a speed card. Like you'll never not have a speed card or a wit card. Like you should be running that for essentially every CM. Unless you're going for like an insane high roll. Like if you're going for an insane high roll with like 4 guts, 2 wit or something, then like obviously you don't need it, but that's like like sure, the theoretical max of that type of deck is insanely high. It's just like you'll probably need like 30 plus runs to hit that high, which I don't know if you want to do in a scenario that lasts like an hour every run while also trying to like fish for a distance S spark. But yeah, I think in account, like, you should always have a really good speed card and always have a really good wit card. Like, everything else can kind of be, like, manageable. Like, I know for the Tennis Show Spring, like, you're gonna miss out on not having, what's her name? Not having Super Creek, but, like, that's 1 CM out of 6. There's only one of them, realistically, that you need to bring Super Creek. Except, actually, maybe for the Derby. The Derby, you might need to bring Super Creek or like something with a recovery skill, if your Uma doesn't have one. But it's like, it's the Tennis Show Spring that you'll want to like Super Creek, and then like maybe the Derby if you're running an Uma without a recovery skill. It's kind of sad. I could max Limit Break Admire. I got 3 copies of Admire Vega and only 2 copies of Fuku. Surely these last 50 pulls saves me. You're gonna pull for Fine Motion, got Limit Break 1, Nice Nature from Spooks. I mean, yeah, Fine, like, they're not really interchangeable. Like, I would rather have Fine Motion than Nice Nature, but, I mean, a Max Limit Break Nice Nature is gonna be better than a level 45 Fine Motion. Alright, let me... oh, that's the scout. Oops. Let me show my team, and then we'll go into some room matches. These room matches should be pretty fast. Is Fine Motion a better borrow than Narita Top Road? Or sorry, Fuku? Depends on how many... like, if you're... Narita Top Road, I'd say, was more consistent. Fuku is just always easier to high roll on. But Narita Top Road would be more consistent. Especially if you're doing like a 0-speed Uma, it's kind of hard to... well, not hard to cap out speed with only Fuku and Kitasen, but you might like lose a run like every like 20% of the time to not capping speed. I think Fuku is just like always better if you're like going for like a really high-end ace. If you're like, I don't know, if you're like fishing for a lot of stuff from like inspirations and stuff, then you should borrow Narita Top Road. If like the only thing you care about high rolling is stats, then you should be using Fuku. But like whenever you do a run, you always want to minimize like the amount of RNG, right? Like I think the stats on my Haru could be a lot better if I wasn't running 3 speed 3 wit, right? Like I think the stats on this Haru could be significantly better if I was doing like 2 speed and like a power card or something. It's just that like trying to high roll both the inspirations and the stats, like I'll take 100 power, 100 wit, in order to like be able to consistently hit max speed 1000 than to try to like high roll something while trying to high roll the pink sparks. Anyways, yeah, this is just I think someone was asking earlier, this is a 3 speed 3 wit deck. Power's just so high because she has a 20% power growth rate. So I can use these 3 speed to max out, even though I have, just because I have 0 speed limit, it takes more speed trainings, which in turn trains power. More guts than stam. Yeah. I mean, the 10%, whenever I click like guts like maybe twice a run, and the 10% guts bonus puts her over. But also a lot of her events gives guts, and like I don't think there's that many events that gives her stam. But SSR would be a good choice for the anniversary ticket. Is Fine Motion still worth it to have both Nice Nature and Fine Motion at max limit break? I mean, there's not really much else you can get. I wouldn't say it's like a bad choice. You could get Super Creek, so you can like open up your borrow slot. It's not really the end of the world. Let me see. Alright, because Super Creek, I mean, man, you don't really use Super Creek in. Super Creek's using Grand Live, maybe. And because like usually they run the Derby and the Arima Keenan. Oh, they ran the Derby and for League of Heroes and Grandmasters. Yeah, no, I think it's awkward to try to It's not like that bad to have both of them. Would I bring Near's Horror to a long CM? If we had more tools, I don't think it's possible to hit 6 Pink Sparks in a run. Or I guess I would only need to hit 5, right? 2 turf and 3 longs. But I don't think it's possible. Barely use crit. Yeah, I'm. No, I wouldn't go for a double S. Oh, it is 6 because one of them would have to start at D. Yeah, I don't think it's possible. Won't you need Super Creek for CM11? Yeah, like you'll definitely need it. You'll definitely need a stamp card for the Tennis Show Spring. I don't think you can do a Guts deck for this. But past that, it's like realistically only the Derby that you might need Super Creek for. In Man, like these two are the CMs that you might see Super Creek in a deck. Whoops. I don't think you need it for a 2000 or 2200. And then Grand Live, the biggest one is the Arima Keenan. Which, maybe. What would I say is the next must pull? I don't think it's anything. Like, Tachyon Speed and Marzensky is like the next biggest pulls. But I wouldn't say they're like mandatory. And then past that, there's not really much else. Like, the only 2 cards worth mentioning are these 2. I've always been on the line that like if you had Kitasen, there isn't really another must pull. It's just getting a wit card would be really good. Okay, sorry, I was going to pull up the signups. Champions / new race. So once again, it's going to be through the Discord, which is linked down below. You can go ahead and sign up through here, and I'll pull it after, I don't know, reading a couple more comments. Does Tachyon Speed die after a scenario? She could be used in Grandmasters. I mean, like, what else would you use in Grandmasters? Like, she's not the strongest. I guess Marzensky's speed would be stronger in Grandmasters. I mean, Jungle Pocket's really strong. It's just like, I don't know why you would pull for Jungle Pocket when Pasa releases for La Arc. But it's like, just should be using Grandmasters. There's literally no... I don't know this... I think I've seen the sentiment where it's like, oh, Tachyon will never be used for Grandmasters, but like, until Jungle Pocket, which is half of the scenario, like, there is no other speed card. Like, there isn't a new speed card that releases in Grandmasters. But when Jungle Pocket releases, technically she dies, because Jungle Pocket's significantly better to use than Tachyon Speed. But, I mean, I would just go through Grandmasters with Tachyon, and then replace her with Pasa. Can you get away with borrowing CB weight if you have high motion? I think it's fine. Like, Nice Nature is a really good borrow, because she has that 15%. But Mr. CB only has 10%, or it doesn't have 10% until... Actually, does she even have 10% at level 50? Let me pull it up. Mr.CB. I don't think she has it, right? She only has 5%? Yeah. Which is a little awkward. But she has it at level 30. Is it true that the 0 limit break Marzensky's okay? I mean, it's usable. Because technically she still has her unique effect. But, you should aim for limit break 1, because you unlock the power bonus. Most of the times when like cards are good at lower limit break, you should always try to aim for level 35 to unlock one of their effects. At what limit break would I push somebody to max limit break Fuku during their 50 free pulls? If they had 3 copies, I would push somebody. If they had 2, I can tell them to gamble, right? But I got 2 off the first 10 pull, and I haven't seen one in 340 pulls. So it's not like a foolproof plan, right? To pull on off of 2. But I think if you got 3, like, you should try to look for the last copy in 150 pulls. But yeah, even like Mr. CB, I think like you should try to unlock this second wit bonus. I think she already has 1 wit bonus. If you're at friendship gauge, but, like anything that will be strong at low limit breaks, you should always try to at least get limit break 1. Because when cards are quote unquote strong, like front loaded and like strong at lower limit breaks, it just means that the jump, like the level 40 to 45 jump, just isn't that much, right? It's just mood bonus, which obviously is still good, but it's not like mandatory. You're gonna limit break her, 3 her. I mean, if I can see one more in these next 50 pulls, I at least won't have to use a ticket or crystal. But I will crystal her at the end of these free pulls if I don't end up getting her, just so I can use Fuku for the mile dirt. Okay, let me take down the signups. Okay, so I'm gonna take down the signups. Oh, I didn't turn on my bot. Hold up. Also, let me not leak the code of this. So let me delete the signups. These runs are gonna go super fast. Sprint is so short. It's literally a third of like the last CM, right? It is not a third. It is half of the last CM. I don't know why I thought we were doing a 3,000 meter. Is the other SSR alongside Fuku good at max limit break if you play end closers? It's a power card. Like, it's always awkward slotting in a power card. But daring attack is really strong. I think Norita Taishin could use it the most, since she doesn't have a mid-race. Alright, if your name showed up at the bottom here, okay, let me not drink my drink. I'm gonna post the room codes for you, and go ahead and enter in them. Please enter only one of them with a team of 3, and then we'll watch them. Oh, I forgot to put up the timer. Hold up. Let me... tools... scripts. How much time do we have? 97 minutes until then? Okay. Okay, once this counter ends, just remind me, or check, and I'm not checking the Twitter post. Let me know. How many sets of rooms do I think we can get through in an hour 30? I have no idea. Maybe 25? I mean, these races are really short. It just depends on how much I yap in between these runs. Alright, let's go into our first one. What we got in here? Curran. Okay, I'm not gonna go through all the builds. I'll just go through the builds of the person that won. Okay, Bono, but we will look at this Haru. Wow, you hit Turf S. Oh, you went for Turbo Sprint? Interesting. And you didn't go for Redshift. KO and Rice Shower. Yeah, 1 front, 6 pace, 2 lates. Just roll a dice 1 through 9. Yeah, it should be fine. The 2 Harus in late. Intimidate's really good, I feel. I wish I got Intimidate on my on my Bakshin. I might try to fish for that. Didn't know that redshift was useful. It's useful if your Uma never touches 5th place, which should be easier on like this because everyone's running Face Chaser. Right? Like, we're about to enter the late race, and my Haru still hasn't entered in 5th place. So she should get, on your left, and then she should, if she passed somebody, she would hit 5th place and redshift. But she never hit 5th place. But yeah, you can see you can hit redshift in the late race. And it's like, my read is that everyone is going to be playing Pace Chaser. So I need to hit an excel into redshift to win. Hey, we got 4th place. We actually might have won if I had turf. If I had turf A. But I think I just got blocked. I hit a really good on your left. I think we had way better chance if I'm not minus 40% power from turf C. But the idea is, like, I hit on your left, no stopping me, sprinting gear, one of these into redshift, and then maybe into mummy. But, I mean, still works. My Pasa, this is a Team Trials Pasa. Like, this doesn't even have Pasa's ult. Sorry, this is a Team Trials Bakshin. Like, it doesn't even have Pasa ult. Like, this CM is just... it's just all gambling. You can, like, do things that, like, make it a little bit more consistent, right? Like, I have a lot of carryover with... Well, not carryover, but I have a lot of late to mid-race with Professor Curvature, Speed Star, Sprint Corners, Tail die, playtime's over. But at the end of the day, like, you just need to hit something. Like, you can just lose to a Team Trials Bakshin. Hold up. I think I should replace my Maru with Haru. Your Ogre was scamming? Yeah, I mean, there's still, like, better things that you could do, right? But there's always a chance that you just lose to a Team Trials Yuma. Alright, let's go into the next race. Nice Nature. Intimidate. Pace Nice Nature with Intimidate. Akebono. Another Bakshin. Has Groundworks. And then a Kawakami Princess. Okay, actually, those might be too many late searchers somehow. 3? Yeah. I don't know. I'm cheering on my Haru, but I think it's impossible with Turf C. Like, the 40% power nerf. I'm running at 600 power, essentially. We can see pace promote here with this Akebono. Yeah, running with 600 power on the sprint I think is too low. So hopefully I can fix that. I've also hit a decent bit of corner stuff. Okay. This is like the most consistent strategy, right? Is to hit Pasa ult on Pasa. Or sprint. Or sprint, what's her name? Sprint Creek. Ooh, just barely won. It's that head-on. The head-on hit pretty well. I think, like, Pasa is probably the most jobber, like, consistent strategy you can go for. I think this Pasa... What was my issue with this Pasa? Oh, I don't have Groundworks or Uma Stan, so it's a little inconsistent when like I'm fighting against a promotion. Right, I had to catch up to this promotion with Speed Star, It's On, Professor of Curvature. Like, all three of those skills were used to catch up to the groundworks. But Pasa cheats because she owns her ult. And luckily I got second place, and like, one of the Bakshins didn't. Don't ground is just between pace downwards if there's front run as a lobby? Yeah. Which is why Umastan would be... Or actually, I guess Umastan would do the same thing. But there's not that many people that run front runners. Like, I guess if you run into a Smart Falcon, then like, yes. But Smart Falcon realistically is the only one that can do well as a front runner. I think everyone else is missing too much. Yep. Oh wow, you have Umastan and Groundworks. Those are pretty strong pasta. So many pastas. But pasta is still strong even without those two. Yeah, I'm spending more time on the sprint. Well, one, because I want to make... I want to actually make sprint parents that I can eventually use to make better sprint parents. I can't really job it when I don't own it. Oh, I have Umastan and Groundworks, and you still lost promote. You need concentration, I guess. But yeah, so I had to like actually make sprint parents for once, which is why I'm spending more time. And also I want to make Haru win. And Haru, like, parents shouldn't take... Or, not parents shouldn't take long. Ace making on Haru shouldn't take that long for CM10, because I don't have to hit 2 pink sparks. But I need to make the sprint parents, or else, like, I don't think my Haru can win. You got pace down? Yeah, because I took promote there. My grandma's still on screen? Not bad. I don't have groundworks. I think I hit straightaway Excel. Or sorry, not straightaway Excel. Pace straightaways, I think is what I hit. Which somehow beat out the groundworks Umastan Pasa. It's like, there's consistent strategies, but sometimes you just lose to the RNG. Like, I'm pretty sure they just got late started. Umastan's awkward because it activates at the 5-second mark. So if somebody else activates a skill before those 5 seconds, they can steal it. Because all Umastan did was equalize the speed from my pace straightaways. Yeah, that makes sense. I do want to make my pasta a little bit better. I'd still want a pasta with Umastan. It's not like every race I'm gonna hit that's pace straightaways. Like, my pasta's okay. At best. I mean, at least she has Sprint S to make up for the fact that she's missing 34 speed. But I think I can make her better once I actually get parents. Here we have the, wow, 750 power? Landmine Suzu, or Landmine Smart Falcon. Curran. Air Groove. This is a front pasa? Oh wow, you got to front B. Wait, what were your sparks? I guess it's just 3 sprint and then 5 front. Gets you to front B. That is, I mean, yeah, that is a more consistent strategy. The double early turbo sprint is so funny. Oh, uh-oh. The front passa made Smart Falcon use her ult. And it looks like front passa is losing a lot of downhill checks. Both the boxings are almost about to catch up to her. Okay, Haru. Hit a skill, Haru. Come on. Countermeasures? Haha, she doesn't have enough power. She was running so slow. I assume Kern triggered her ult. Is it 3rd to 4th, right? Yeah, 2 spaces to hit it. Smart Falcon can win if she doesn't accident. If she's a solo frontrunner, Smart Falcon can activate this at the final straight. Well, not at the final straight. It's like the 1 meter, the 1 meter when the corner switches to a straight. It can trigger this. Which usually somebody, like a pace chaser, should have caught up to you. Especially if you're a solo frontrunner. A pace chaser can catch up to you and will fulfill the condition that there's someone right behind you. If somehow you are so far ahead that nobody is on top of you, like right before the late race, there's just too much of a distance, and you might just win off of plancha anyways, if they're that weak. Oh, I accidentally... Oh, that's why. I accidentally clicked the button on my countdown instead of the code blocker that I had. 83 minutes from now? Okay, there we go. Yeah, Kern's good. It's just there's only 2 spaces that it can realistically trigger in. Yeah. I mean, everything's a gamble. Another Smart Falcon, Pace Passa, Air Groove, Kiseki, Air Groove, Unboxing. I mean, everything's a gamble. 2 fronts, wow. Because of the front runner. Well, who was the front runner? Boxing? That's like one thing that I'm worried about the Smart Falcon strategy, is that you don't know what if the randoms in your lobby want to run front Boxing for some reason. Looks like I'm gonna lose to an air groove. Wait, what happened to the air groove? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't have won this if there wasn't a random front boxing. I was like neck and neck with an air groove. Yeah, I don't know what happened to this air groove. Everyone's losing to a Team Trials Bakshin. Well, it's not actually Team Trials, because I thought no stopping me. Oh, 4th place Haru? Okay. Yeah. I don't know, front Bakshin is just... I feel like it's just too weak. Because you're spending so much on taking the lead in groundworks. I mean, I guess you have sprint corners. But I feel like the combination... Oh, I guess I don't have it's on here. But like having Speed Star and Professive Curvatures and like a corner skill feels really good trying to get into position during that late race corner. Or sorry, final corner. I just need to get Pasa ult onto this Bakshin and like trade a double circle here and here. Or sorry, I could probably just trade this for Pasa ult and I would have been happy with this Bakshin. Alright, well, that's everything there. I'm gonna go ahead and reset race participant. Reset the randomizer. Wow, that was really short. Took like less than 10 minutes to get through all of that. Yeah, front is just rough. Like, I think pace just has too much like things to catch up to your front runner, and like you don't have a lead, and the only ult that you have is plancha, unless you're smart. All of this does not include Smart Falcon. Smart Falcon's like a completely different strategy. But I don't know. Fronts I think are just rough. Right, set up that, and then racers. There we go. And then I'll leave this running for like a minute or two while everyone's who wants to enter these slot machines signs up. I mean, it's all a dice roll. Like, it's a dice roll in that you can just lose to a Team Trial Zuma, but like there's things that you can do to like increase your odds, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, like, if you think about it that it's a slot machine, then yeah, I guess you could take the loss of losing to a Team Trial Zuma a little bit better. But there's definitely a little bit more nuance than just... Oh yeah, someone's gonna hit instant turbo sprint and the game's over. Also, don't take like my wins to heart. Obviously, in a lot of these rooms, I just got lucky in. Like, I don't think I'm gonna consistently be winning the majority of every set. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and delete the message, and we will pull our next 10 people. Like, I definitely don't think, like, the Umas I'm running will have, like, an 80% victory. I just got lucky that my pace chasers pushed up. But I do think Sprint Pasa is something to be scared of. Right, if your name showed up on the bottom here, I'm going to give you guys the room codes slowly. Go ahead and enter in one of them with a team of 3, and then we will watch them as soon as they fill out. You have 3 backups in case you don't make finals. That's how I'm gonna do it for the... Well, I'm not gonna do backups for the dirt one, but I will be running like 2 somewhat usable dirt milers, and then hopefully once we make it to Group A finals, I'm gonna replace everybody and solo run New Year's Haru for the finals. But I don't think for the sprint I will. I think for the sprint, I'm gonna run these 3 Umas that I have the whole way through. For the dirt, though, because it's Haru's home turf, I will get rid of the other 2 Umas. Like, I don't think I can get rid of. I'm not gonna get rid of Pasa or Bakshin. Kuren, Pasa, Dober, Kuren, Bakshin, Pasa. Everyone built a Pasa, which makes sense. Front Pasa is crazy, but whoever went for that is crazy. You have a groundworks gamble on your Pasa. Did you win or did you hit turbo sprints? 3 random straight skills. Only. You had a sprint to A front runner, B Pasa, Weasel, and Jack handcuff. Wow, really? I can't catch up with It's On and my ult. That's crazy. My Haru hit It's On and her ult, and I passed absolutely nobody. Groundworks, Savvy, White Conditions, Focus, Straightaway Excel, Straightaways. So you have Focus Gamble, Straightaway Acceleration Gamble, and Pace Straightaways for your Groundworks. I think this one hit Turbo Sprint, didn't it? Yeah. I guess it was too late. Pasa only needs to hit 1. You can bring her sprint up to a B. Not running Pasa at all, should you be scared? I don't know how common it is going to be in the actual CM. I don't know, unless somebody like... Unless it spreads that like everyone should be doing sprint Pasa. I don't know if it's like going to be the most common Uma. Air Groove, Kiseki, Kuren, a Taiki, Bakshin, and then another Pasa. Pasa's kind of hard to... I mean, yeah, you have to hit 1 inspiration. She's not that hard, though. She has a 20% speed, 10% lit. Like, she has really good growth rates. And, like, the Rimikina is kind of Mickey Mouse. I don't think I've ever lost the Rimikina. Like, you just put her on late surger with, like, 250 wit and she can win it. I think getting Groundworks and, like, Uma stand, like, those are the hard things. Because you would realistically want that phase promotion. Yeah, I think round 2 you could see a lot of Pasas. The Stanford Derby is harder than Rima? Yeah, because it's so early. I have, like, lost the Derby. That is for sure. Oh, Curran just hit a no stopping there. No. Curran hit a pretty early no stopping me, but it just doesn't matter. Did Kisteki win that? That's crazy. Really? I thought that was a really early no stopping, man. Guess it's still not enough. Actually, you lost to the Pasa as well. $350 pulls and only hit one Fuku? No, surely you hit the last two copies and 50 pulls. King Halo. An Enclosure Taishin. Oh, you got Daring Attack? That's good. Princess. Smart Falcon double S. Wow. Alright, this room might be a little bit above my pay grade. Narita Taishin, Ogre. And a Smart Falcon. It's so nice not having a 2x speed these rooms anymore. Long tracks are just too long to watch, every single one. Why is there so many late surgers? Oh, I just clipped in the fifth. But you can see here, Sparkly triggered at the end there. Looks like it's gonna lose. Is it gonna lose the Pasa? I can't tell. But we saw the Smart Falcon hit the ult at that late race. Nope, Triumphant Pulse scams. Wow, Ogre came out of nowhere. A 4-way neck finish. You have concentration on a late surger? What? Oh, you're really scared of those late starts. Oh, that came out of nowhere. Almost a 5-way, my boxing wasn't strong enough. Can't fall behind at all, yeah. Everyone passed my Haru. She was like 6 she was 6 on that late race, and then she just did not have enough power. Is Redshift real? Redshift's real if you don't face a lobby like this where there's 4 backliners. Redshift works if you don't have somebody running 3 backliners. Like every other room, Haru has a chance to, or not a chance, Haru can trigger Redshift in. Because a lot of people are running Pace Chasers. Like even in this room, there's 3 late surgers. Like you'll always be 9th, 8th, 7th. I almost sped up this room. Wow, the Section 4 is that soon that you can rush to there? We haven't even spread it out yet, and I already started rushing. Holy pace down. This Pasa just dropped. Yeah, I can never tell like where the phases of the game is. Yeah, Kernan first, I don't think can fight against a Pasa. Unless she hits like a Turbo Sprint or a Russian Gale. That's an unfortunate promote. I mean, there was a Pasa in front of me, but like you got hit by the most disgusting pace down. You lost like 3 links off that pace down because you got too close to the current. I didn't even notice it was a Christmas Ogre. Be still, small breather. You're trying to hit it off of a small breather. You have a 70% chance, and then whatever the gamble is on a small breather, right? Is rushed good? I guess you could say the rush is good. I just got lucky because I rushed into a skill. I rushed into a skill, so I never got pace downed. We'll ignore... I will build a Haru that can win. I'm sure of it. I'm sure I'll get my Turf A Haru. Yeah, I'd say 1k power is the bare minimum. Like, you'll really see the effects if you're under 1k. I guess I don't have 1k here, but I have Turf S. I have like 960 and Turf S. That is not 960. I have 940 and Turf S, which is like essentially 1k. What's ideal max? You want to max all three stats. But I try to hit like 1200, like, right, I mean, if you could somehow train speed not to 1200 and power, like, if you could get like 1150, obviously that's better. But I'm assuming you're running speed cards in your deck, so you should have like max speed and wit, because I'm assuming that's what your deck is. And then you should try to get 1000 or more power. But like 1100 power, 1100 wit would also be better. The S's? I mean, like, it's a... Like, Stam and Guts don't matter. Like, you should be able to hit S off of just, like, this only has Kitasen. I mean, if you don't have Kitasen, that's a lot harder. Like, all of my advice will usually be off of, like, you own Kitasen. Right, okay, this one was kind of goofy. The Pasa that I hit is kind of goofy because I wanted to test a run with Fuku. That is my Pasa. It's off of a Fuku run. But all the other decks are assuming you own Kitasen. Or just Kitasen. And SRs. You must own Kitasen. Yeah, I just don't know how I could give advice if you don't own Kitasen, unfortunately. Like, I think it's just too hard to hit everything without, like, one SSR. Like, a full SR deck, I think it's too weak for me to comfortably give advice for. Oh, my Bakshin just dropped 5 places, wow. I flew too close to the sun. Uh-oh, I dropped out a second. Who passed me? Wait, who passed me? I dropped out a second? Oh, the no stopping me! Boxing! Off of a no stopping me! Beaten by a team trial, Zuma. I don't have Paso ult. I ran 5 with 1 speed. This Paso is so bad. But Pasa's been almost tied with my or sorry, not Pasa, but Bakshin has been almost timed with Pasa. And I felt like my Pasa bid was alright. That's so funny. But that is like, that is what I like. That part right there is like where I'm saying, yeah, there is a lot of like, it's kind of RNG. Like, no stopping me in the past 10 races, and I have it on both of my Umas, hasn't really helped. So it's like a 10% chance, right? And I hit that no stopping me, which ended up winning me the match. Oops, I didn't mean to exit out there. I meant to start new signups. Yeah, I'm really worried about my Haru, because I thought she would be pushing up a little bit better than she was. But I guess, like, with all the speed stars, all the Professor of Couragers and stuff, still kind of hard to push up as a late surger. Maybe lates just suck. I think lates always suck. There's too much mid-race off of the pace. Pacers just have too much mid-race. Okay. So here's the new signups. Go ahead and enter in through here, and then I will pull 10 people out in like a couple minutes. Lates will be strong with Neo Universe Trust. Are lates gonna be strong, or is just Neo Universe strong? You have to keep that in mind. I think it's less that lates will be strong and more so that Neo Universe just has a decent enough kit that she can win. We just got head on from head on has been helping a lot. I think Highlander. Actually, do I have Highlander on anybody? I spent a lot of time getting Highlander in my Sparks. I don't have Highlander on anybody. Never mind. But head on has felt pretty good. Lose yourself? I mean, that's only for long tracks though. Like, there's not that many longs. It's really good for the Arima Keenan, though. I think like late surgers for the Arima Keenan with Lose Yourself can be strong because you don't care about a 2% stam drain. But it's like there's not enough longs. There's a like 3200 and the Arima Keenan. Does it even come out for the Arima Keenan? When does Symbolic come out? Symbolic Chris S. 1018. Okay, it comes out for the Ray McKinnon. Yeah, this is the Ray McKinnon and the Kyoto 3200. Which I still don't think you should pull on this banner for, because like those are the only two before Manhattan Cafe. Right? This Ray McKinnon, this long track here. And I guess if you care about League of Heroes, maybe. If you're trying to like aim for top 96, sure. But Manhattan Cafe should be out for the next Ray McKinnon. Does just owning Max Limit Break Kitasen and Nice Nature allowed to be somewhat going into Man? Yeah, I'd say so. I think owning Kitasen Black and Fine Motion or Nice Nature, like 1 speed, 1 wit going into the third scenario, I think is good enough. I don't think like anybody should like the free to play Guts deck that's been touting around, like that's being touted everywhere is like I just don't think you like it's not like you're gonna consistently hit, you know, 4 1200s like every single run. I think it's like you're better off just doing like a regular build and being weaker in duels. Alright, sorry, let me take down signups. And we will pull for the next 10 people. But it's like, I don't know. I have like some issues with the Guts deck. Like it works. Like it can work, right? And like there's dueling. And like it should work for like 4 out of 6 of the races because you don't need that much stam. Outside of the Derby and the Tenno Show Spring, like you shouldn't really realistically need to bring in a stam card. But I just think it's like it's really high rolly to go for. And it's like if you're trying to make 3 aces in 3 weeks using that deck to hit the theoretical like max, I think it's just asking for too much. Alright. Here are our winners. I'm gonna go ahead and add the room. It's not like I wouldn't say like the build can work, right? Like there is a theoretical max. But it just seems so outlandish to try to hit it. Definitely for the Tenno Show Spring, though, you cannot. Like, the theoretical max limit stam you can get off of a Guts deck is like 600. You cannot run the Tenno Show Spring on 600. But like for the Derby, maybe you can somehow make a deck out of it. I definitely think for the other 4, like, you can't go for that high roll. Derby is just like a little iffy, especially if we still see like a million Nice Natures. Ooh, we got the Scamguri back. How many stamp cards do I think you need to run in Mant? With Super Crit, you can get like 1,000. On like a normal run. I would say maybe you have to run 2 if it's not a maximum break Super Crit. All things equal, it's the one thing CM9 ace needs to have a leg up on other aces. If you are a pace chaser, which I'm assuming you are, because all the other positions kind of need like weird things. If you are a pace chaser, it's all about mid-race still. Like this race is all about mid-race. The positions you need to be in are 4th to 1st as a pace chaser. Like you well, you should also have Give Mommy a Hug and Hustle, but like you really want to be 4th to 1st, so like it's really important to get Speed Star, Professor of Curvature, Sprint Corners, your style corners. Holy T-Pulse! Wait, maybe Ogre's busted.
見事に制しました。2着には4番桜爆心王、3着はスマートファルコン。
他の子も早かった。それは認めましょうかも。
Holy T-Pulse. Sprint to S max speed T-Pulse, huh? The bottom of the board is also very funny. Pasa has nothing going for her. She's not second or first. That's crazy. Because the course is so short, like that T-pulse looks disgustingly fast. Is it worth using stamps where it separates currents mile aptitude to B so you can run the optional mile G ones? It could be. I don't think it's worth it. I think there's enough... Like... Yeah, actually, no, I don't think it's worth it. Unless you already... I don't know, it's hard to say. It could be worth it. I guess you would only hit it off of grandparents, right? Like, if you had really, really good mile parent, I wouldn't go out of the way, I think. I don't think I would go out of my way to build it. Has Haru won here? No, I have a Terp C Haru. I have a Terp C Haru on late, and everyone's playing pace. 0.25 target speed increase from her unique just isn't strong enough. Is Pasa the best performer? I'd say so. I think she's the most consistent. Actually, no. I think that that crazy Ogres has been the most consistent. Wait, I actually think I could have won this with Max with Turfei. Okay, no, I wouldn't have. I think I would have lost to the Dober. Wait! Huh? I would have won. I think I would have won this with Turfei. Wow, it was a 6-way photo finish. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I would have won this with Turfei. Christmas Ogre almost did it. I could not tell who was winning there. Yeah, I just hit a gamble, like, at the end of the day. Ugh, I need to make a Turfei Haru. Pasa's so feast or famine. Actually, I guess Smart Falcon kind of... no, Smart Falcon could crit. I mean, she's part of the 6-way. You've never used Head Start voucher? Who should you get? I mean, it's either Marzensky or Taiki. Taiki is good on like certain tracks for ult, and Marzensky is good for certain tracks on her ult. I would say, I mean, Maru's works like Maru's like the Derby, right? I'm trying to think what she would get more mileage out of. I guess Suzuka could also be good, right? To have a runaway for Ogre, since she should be wit maxed. It's like one of those three. Though Maruzen's... Wait, hold up. If you did the legend race for Taiki, if you did a legend race for Taiki and you have her shards, maybe it's not as important. Because Taiki and Suzu are gonna have their, in 2 months, will have their thing in their daily legend race. So if you're close to that, instead of Maruzensky, but it's one of those three. I think they all like are pretty much equal. Whoops, I didn't mean to put up Mario. Smart Falcon, Kurin, Bakushin, Kurin, Smart Falcon, Condor Pasa. Wow. Some free thinkers in here.
7番人気1番春浦ちょっと
サムサさあゲートが開いた各馬娘揃って
The second Sparrow Huggins ran the wrong racetrack green? Really?
3番スマートファルコンと9番スマートファルコンこの2人が競り合っているぞ最高峰からのレースとなった春うらら大丈夫か
You couldn't decide. So... Yeah, it doesn't help that I'm not helping you decide. I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, they all have their uses. And Haru's swinging out so far. Also hit no stopping me into her ult. That is so stupid. I had no stopping me into her ult into Bakshin ult. To pick Ogre. What was my advice? I said I really liked Maru. And I think Maru like was still a good decision, especially because Derby was the first one. Like Maru was really useful for the Derby because you could borrow the other one, which was Taiki. But I mean, if I knew that the update was going to come out sooner, I think I would have said maybe choose Taiki. But I think like casually Ogre is a good choice because not everyone does parents. Does Maru Taiki get played by Nishina Flower? Nishina Flower is a sprint mile parent. Maru is like a medium parent. Redshift is usually used for medium tracks. So like it's a different use case between Taiki and Nishino's, like they kind of cover the same things. But Maru and Taiki are no longer coupled together as like you want both of them. Like once we go back to the medium tracks, we're gonna be using Maru again. We just haven't done a medium track in a while. Or at least the last medium track we did, Mario didn't work in, right?
各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました
The 2000 meter.
先行争いは5番カレンちゃん9番エルコンドルパサー桜爆信号
But like the Naka,
レースとなった春浦大丈夫か
まだこれからですよ。ここからの巻き返しに期待です。
先頭行ったのは5番
actually we don't use it for the next 2000 meter either, I think. Nakayama's final corner is too late, right?
岸明子の内から行く間もなく第4コーナーカーブ
馬娘たち
No, you probably want both of them. I don't know, there's only like some tracks where Taiki's conditions can actually work in.
になるのか小栗キャプテン外で
I don't know, I haven't gone through all the tracks where like either of them could do anything.
小栗キャプテンまだ抑えたままだ栄光まで400最終コーナー最初に立ち上がったのは8番カレンちゃん岸明子の食らいついていく8番カレンちゃん
Kern.
カレンちゃんこれは強い200を通過8番カレンちゃん足色は衰えない8番カレンちゃ
I
ん
mean, yeah, if Kern ults, it's because like in order for her to be in the position to ult, she probably already hit a lot of speed carryover. So if you see a Kern ult, she has like a whole bunch of other skills behind her with that ult.
こんなの世界最強には程遠い
Is JB at a point where there's a ton of acceleration on aces? Kind of. I mean, like, they're still somewhat used, but there's just like other options that are better. Like the issue with our acceleration right now is they all have like position requirements. Like you'll just get more skills where like there won't be a position requirement. It's just like, oh, if you are set like, I don't know, like the better excels on the Japanese servers are just or like on the current server is just non-positional. Your Okri died. Or like non-positional skills. I mean, Stay Gold was just released, and that like power creeps a lot of Excel. I guess Stay Gold is kind of old now. I think we have one last race in this set. Yeah. It's like position requirements are just always annoying to play around. Current. Yeah, I think Potsa and Current. Wow, these are just the D3 Umas. Is Groundworks worth it for pace in this one?
4番春うらら9番
I think I'd be scared of a lot of random front box chains.
サムサ
To say like
さあゲートが開いた
2 go for it,
揃って綺麗なスタートを切りました
誰が先頭に抜け出すか。
like it's still good.
9番
Why is my
スマートファルコンと
Asa
7
in
番
8th
スマー
place?
トファルコンこの2人が競り合っているぞ最高峰からのレースとなった春うらら大丈夫か
まだこれからですよ。頑張ってほしいですね。
先頭は9番スマートファルコン単身で飛ばしていきます2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのは7番スマートファルコン
Why did my pasta?
1番エルコンドルパサーまもなく第4コーナーカーブ切り札はこれだ
内から来るか外から来るか。最後の局面です。
じりじり詰めるカレンちゃん
Wow, I'm just gonna completely bottom in this lobby.
カレンちゃんここで抜け出した7番スマート
Actually, what happened to my whole team in this lobby?
残り400最後のコーナー先陣を切ったのは1番エルコンドルパサー1番エルコンドルパサー先頭は1番エルコンドルパサーこれは強い200を通過1番エルコンドルパサー足色は衰えない1
You know,
番エル
yeah, I don't think you'll see that. I think you'll more likely see front pasa than you will a turf falcon.
勝利を飾った2着は成田大使
Yeah, I don't know. I was just bought 3 this entire race.
みんな強いね次は負け
No, never mind. There's someone who joined me. It's another pasa. And Taishin almost had it, yeah. Taishin's so awkward. Like, you really need one of the other skills to like be out already. Like King Halo Cheerleader or Ruby's skill. I just don't know if it's enough, like, right now for Taishin to like consistently win. Or I just don't think Taishin has enough kits in her toolbox to win on a sprint right now. Well, outside of just gambling. So Haru, I think. Oh, I just accidentally reset my. Hold up. How much time do we have left? 34 minutes. Okay. How does Christmas Ogre activate on this track? I have no idea what people are building Christmas Ogre for. I think they're just running 3 random mid-race recoveries. There shouldn't be a trigger. Like even Haru is like a mid-race trigger, right? When training for sprint aces, does one prioritize getting the wit cards to rainbow as soon as possible to avoid resting? Not necessarily. I think you just like go for all friendships. New race. Alright, I'm gonna put up signups. You can go ahead and let me turn down my lamp too. You can go ahead and sign up through there while I turn on the light. There we go. And then I'll pull in like a minute or so. How many rooms have we done already? This is our 20th? Okay, yeah. We should be able to get through 25. I think. 15 minutes for the next 2 sets. Should be fine. And once like a minute passes, I will take this down. I do think though, like if you are going to go all gamblers, you kind of have to play Pace Chaser. I don't think you can do late search for gambles. I think it's just too weak. I think like if you want to go triple gamble, just throw in 3 Pace Chasers. Try to get Mummy Creek and Pasa ult, or maybe just Mummy Creek, and then your gambles. Alright. Minute has passed. I'm gonna take down the signups and we will pull the next 10 people. What's my win rate at? Like 40%? Which I think is like should be expected. I have Team Trials Bakshin, a somewhat okay Pasa, and a Turf C Haru. If you're running Smart Falcon, you shouldn't play another front runner because you don't want to. Well, unless your Smart Falcon is so strong that she won't ult during the early mid race. But I don't think that's possible. If your name showed up here, I'm gonna go ahead and like you don't really need the lead that front runners generally get. You just want to ult during the late race. But a pause in second does like have a chance of winning. But like the idea is that if there's a pause in second and they instantly ult, you instantly spark a lead. Like I don't think you're gonna create such a lead from the second place Pasa that she will ult and you will not. Especially if you're running solo front. And at that point, you're kind of like evened out on like excels. So then it's who hits a better gamble. Summer Marzensky, Air Groove. Wow, a hater Bakshin. Oh wait, no, this is a debuff for Bakshin for your. Wait, no, you have a Pace Maru. Now I'm confused. I guess you don't know pace promote? Is the Jord by all even worth it? Doesn't this just go from 0.2 to 0.25? Like, I feel like that's a lot of SP for a 0.05 debuff. I do think Intimidate's really strong, though. I just think Adored by All is, like, really expensive for what it does.
最高峰からのレースとなった春うらら大丈夫か
まだこれからですよ。ここからの巻き返しに期待です。
先頭集団を見ていきましょう
My Papa late started and is running with the late surgers.
単身で飛ばしていきます6番
Oh, that's a disgusting pace down.
先頭争い外から外からマルゼンスキー少し離れてカレンちゃん少し後ろから3番桜爆心王第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう
ここからスパート。一気に。
リフだわそれだカレンちゃんここで抜け出したまだ先頭
Wow, my Papa hit 3 skills. She's in second and she lost it. No. Wait, is the duel enough to push into second? Unfortunate. That Kawakami Princess, I think, denied me. Is it that or the current that denied me? I feel like everyone's just, wow, got podiumed. I think everyone's just trying to push into second place. If you can get Plancha off, like, it's just, I mean, you just kind of win it. Another Patso win. Yeah, Pasa's the most consistent, especially if you can get a build going that can push her up to second. Is groundwork's needed in pace Pasa? I mean, it's needed if there's no front runners. But it's a lot of SP you're giving up to go for. I think you should still go for it. William the RNG getting 3 wins on a ticket looks like a nightmare. Yeah. It can be rough. Probably another late start on my Pasa. Some groundworks, I think maybe concentration's needed. Yeah, I think it's like a really big double-edged sword on this track. Like on longer tracks, pace down doesn't matter as much, but if you get hit by a pace down on the sprint, you basically lost. And like you're using the SP that you could have used on mid-race to exit out of pace down on like groundworks. But I just don't think there's gonna be like that little. Like I don't know if there's gonna be absolutely no fronts. Is what I'm worried about. I think Ogre. Maybe base Ogre is just busted. I guess it's almost guaranteed 2 lengths, right? Because like, no matter what, you should be at max power at the 200 meter mark. Or, like, you should almost be at max speed, right? Because, like, you can just raw speed. I mean, you can raw power to your top speed when T-pulse can go off. And it's guaranteed to be... how long is it? It's a 5-second ult, right? Like, it's guaranteed 1 length. It just doesn't make sense to me. How it's like being so consistent at scamming like this. Alright. Oh, some of these rooms haven't filled out yet. Smart Falcon. Maria Taishin. Pace Pasa. Air Groove. Smart Falcon. Curran. Oops, that's not a click.
寒さ続くスタート各馬娘揃って綺麗なスタートを切りました
これは位置取りが熾烈になりそうですね
And Late's gonna play the Maverick Gamble for 40 speed.
大丈夫か
ちょっと厳しい位置ですが頑張ってほしいですね
先頭は1番スマートファルコン単身で飛ばしていきます2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのは2番スマートファルコン1馬身離れてエアグルーヴその後ろに8番エルコンドルパサーカレンちゃん並びかけてきたそれを見るように桜爆心王第4コーナーカーブ切り札は
After her ult, I feel like she's doing absolutely nowhere.
戦へとかけていきます
まだ1馬身以上の差があるぞここから捉えることができるのかこの直線で勝負が決まるぞ各馬娘1段となって団子状態の大混戦栄光まで400
I think that
最後のコーナー最初に駆け抜けてきた
yeah,
のは
front Falcon just sparkly.
2番スマートファルコン1
The,
番
the Smart Falcon in second hit Sparkly during the mid race, and then the one first hit it. You need 150 to unlock off of fragments.
スマートファルコン2着2番こんなの世界最強には程遠いです
You didn't even hit T-Pulse, and you won by 2 lengths. I feel like I'm getting psyoped by like these ogres. Since we see him, we've never seen it lose. Yeah, if you like, you can unlock. Is it star unlock? No. How do you do it? Trainer list? Right. It's 150. I'm actually really close to Kominatsu to regular Teo. 123. Saiyan Sky is actually gonna be. Saiyan Sky I think is in the Racing Carnival, so you can get like 20 fragments from there.
レースかよっしゃ決まってくれ
I forgot I own Cross. I've yet to do a run on Cross. Sorry, I'm trying to look when Saiyan Sky's at the 4th scenario for daily legend race. These 2 rooms aren't filled out yet? What happened? When I pulled 3 crosses. I still have I 4-starred her off of 2 pulls, and then the day after I hit another cross. How expensive is 210 statue or 210? I might be able to 5-star her.
どうぞごゆっくりご覧ください
It's still kind of a lot to 5-star her. Yeah, I've yet to do a run on her. I'll run her for the Tennis Spring. I should probably unlock her potentials too. Once the daily legend races begin, who am I going for? Well, I will be going for. I mean, the only one I don't own is Silent Suzuka. Digital isn't on the daily legend race when it releases. Yeah, I'll just go for Silent Suzuka. I don't really want Teo. It's like it's either Silent Suzuka or Teo. Those are the only two I don't own. I guess I don't own Opera, but I own her New Year's version. But I'll just run Suzu until the next one, and then I'll go for Saiyan Sky. So I'd like to own Inglink. My plan for the first daily legend race is Suzuka. Okay, these rooms didn't fill. We haven't had that issue. I'm gonna repost these rooms, I guess. And someone who was... Okay, never mind. This one just filled out. Hopefully the two people who got chosen. Yeah, I feel like I haven't had the issue with people not joining. But maybe they just signed up and then I wasn't fast enough. They didn't know they got picked. King Halo. Okay, we've seen the... Actually, you know, I always see your name, but I never try to pronounce it. But we've seen the end, Taishin. Is it soon? It's in 2 months. I guess it's like 1 month, actually. It's like 1 month and 1 week, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe 6 weeks from now is when the daily legend race will release. Oh, triple late start. Yeah, in like 6 weeks you can get 1 shard a day. But if you've done their legend race already, I mean if you missed it, it's gonna be really hard because it's gonna take 150 days. But if you've done their legend race, it only takes like 60-ish days. Maru will not be available. Wait, yes, no, Maru will not be available. Neither will Curran. Curran is part of the... Curran is part of the next batch for some reason. Even though she's like one of the early ones. Okay, who did I get passed by? I thought I had that with my Bakshin. Did my Bakshin like die? Alright, I guess she just hit a whole bunch of speed carryover and then absolutely no excel. Oh, right. She hit a whole bunch of speed carryover into first place, and I don't own Plancha on her. I forgot I owned... Yeah. The only thing I could hit was Turbo Sprint for Excel. But because she dropped from first down, my Pasa, who was behind the Smart Falcon, was able to ult. Missing a vital piece. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a Team Trials Bakshin. Alright, we still have one more room. I'll just open it up. What a boring CM. I mean, there's just no strategies. You just throw everything on, everything that can work on, and race. But I feel like every CM kind of, I guess... no, other CMs you can like put in other strategies. But yeah, this one's kind of just throw everything and pray. Same, yeah, but yeah, the same thing does get said every single time. Like last CM was like... I don't know. I feel like the same idea gets thrown around every time. Trying to do front current to proc ult with a runaway. But runaways just don't generate enough of a difference. Like, you can't really do a runaway strategy in this just because like they just don't generate enough of a lead.
最高峰からのレースとなった春うらら大丈夫か
まだこれからですよ頑張ってほしいですね
3番カレンちゃん早くも先頭に躍り出た2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのは1番エルコンドルパサー7番桜爆信号並びかけてきた第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう
Keep seeing a Haru ult. Like, but she just gets stuck back here. I can't be only just because I have Jersey. As long as it used to be consistent, then no stopping me drops. I mean, the consistency was just hit spurt. Like that was the only consistent strategy.
レースを制しました2着は7番桜爆信号
Yeah, the timer up here is for when the schedule will drop. It should drop in about 13 minutes. So the longs were consistent when everyone didn't have Kitas in black. I guess that's also true. Okay, we got 13 more minutes. I think we can get through 5 more races. So let me go ahead. Okay, this will be our last 5. Race. Go ahead and enter in through there. And then in like a minute I'll pull through. I'm gonna try to go through these races a little bit faster, just so we can finish up before the schedule drops. No stopping me was a bigger problem on the tennis show spring because of that uphill, and like it was very obvious if you missed no stopping me. Like that CM was really boring to watch. Like, that uphill just took so much power to get through, or acceleration to get through. Alright, go ahead, take down the signups. Oh shoot. I think I forgot to... Okay, well hopefully it doesn't... I forgot to remove the roll. Well, hopefully all the rooms fill out. So if your name shows up in a couple of seconds, I'm gonna give you guys access to the room codes. It was nice being routed at the Kikua show. Kikua show was interesting for sure. Alright, if your name popped up down here, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the room codes. And we will watch them as soon as the first one comes up. And then hopefully by the end of this... Alright, we've already seen these. By the end of this, the schedule drops. CM Training's unlocking so much G2, G3 sprints. Yeah, I think I got one G3 sprint that I've never gotten. I think I'm still missing 2 G3s. I'm doing Akebono parents. I'm missing like 60 carats from the trophies. Oh, that turbo sprint would have promoted me if it wasn't for the front runner. If it wasn't for the evil Bakshin in front, the Mara's still there. Thank you for reminding me.
先頭は2番桜爆心王単身で飛ばしていきます2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのはエルコンドルパサーそしてマルゼンスキー第4
Oh wow, I paused it and face down.
切り札はこれだ
That's a surprise.
先頭は宮古馬場これは直線勝負になるかエルコンドルパサー
Speed Star, it's on into first.
集団が一つにまとまって混戦状態
Pasa's so fun to watch.
400を切りました最終コーナー
I think Speed Star is just too strong for my Haru to beat out.
速い速いもはや独走状態残り200エアスリーブホイッスラルこれ
Actually, I don't think my Haru, even a perfectly built Link Surge, I don't think
最後意地を見せて
beats
栄
that.
冠を手にしましたエルコンドルパサー勝利を飾ったはいと優勝快勝エル圧勝
I think like the way to make this pasta better is just to get like concentration or something. Ooh. That is rough. Carry over into perfect on your left. Maybe. Rising Dragon's like late Speed Star? No? Rising Dragon requires you to overtake somebody, which is a little bit harder to fulfill. I mean, I guess you can consider it because it works on the final corner. But it's like Speed Star is good just because you can there's nothing except the 5th place or higher. Rising Dragon basically expects you to already have another like you have to activate another skill into Rising Dragon,
春うらら
otherwise you're not passing anybody, right?
サムサスタート各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました
これは位置取りが熾烈になりそうですね。
先行
I
争
mean,
い
Rising Dragon is
は
just basically it's
桜
on.
爆心王カレンちゃんメジロドーベル上がっていきます現在最高峰は一番人気のメジ
With
ロ
your
ドーベ
late
ル
team only still only one with
どう見ますか
Pasa.
直線勝負にかけているんでしょう。終
Where's the
盤に
Pasa?
期
The
待で
ult.
す。
先頭集団を見ていきま
If
し
you
ょう
Dober
先頭
ult carry
は
over
スマートフォン
early
単
enough
身で
on
飛ば
your
していき
left
ます
blinding
二番手の位置
flash.
で先頭を伺うのはカレンちゃん後ろ1番
Why is my Haru in 6?
第4コーナーカーブ切り札はこれだ
勝負どころ、最後の直線へとかけていきます。
さあいよいよ直線だどのタイミングで誰が仕掛ける檻に向かってバッチンまだ1マス以上の差があるぞここから捉えることができるのかメジルノーベル外で足を
Wait, it's on meticulous measures.
さあ最終コーナーを曲がって最後の
And to give Mummy a hug.
桜爆心王残り200春うらら並ぶ
Haru?
春うららここで抜け出した春うらら足色は
What?
2
I just hit 0.6 Excel there.
着は桜爆心王3着に入ったのはカレンちゃん勝ったらお筆で書くんだよね勝利の花丸だ
I hit meticulous measures. Like I hit a decent redshift into meticulous measures and to give Mummy a hug. Oh, 0.7, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, just like this is the state of a sprint, right? Or at least this specific sprint track. Like you hit the excels, you win. But I think Turf A, like I mean Turf A would have won the other room too, where like I lost by a neck. We got like 5 minutes to go through the rest of this. Oh. Just skip to the end. We have time to watch the whole thing. It's like a minute to get through all of this.
さあゲートが開いた各馬娘揃って綺麗なスタートを切りました
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
These trainings are at least fun to watch. Why is my heart like my heart is locking in? How is she with the pace pack? Is this a Hishi Amazon at pace?
それを見るようにエルコンドルパッサーその後からエアグルーヴサガラクハルウララさらに内川上プリンセス第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう
勝負どころ最後の
It might have been a little early for some of the excel that she has.
勝負は最後の直線に持ち越さ
I
れた
do have Give Mummy a hug.
差があるぞここから捉える
And oh wait, I can't use on your left.
そして足をためています4着へ切りました最終コーナーを曲がって最初に立ち上がったのは西山エアグルーヴ先頭に変わった200を通
Never
過
mind, it might not.
苦しいけど
It might not be enough.
6番キングヘイローここまでかエアグルーヴ6番キングヘイロー差し切ったゴール6番キングヘイロー
If I didn't swing out so far, and I could proc no stopping me, I think Haru had a chance. Alright, we're gonna speedrun these rooms. I don't want to get the people who got picked. Yeah, let me start the other one as well. Just so we don't have to wait the 10 seconds. They got in here.
1番
Some Pasas, some Smart Falcons. I think I saw Nogri.
サム
I will say I think you really need Turfe. Like 400 power goes a long way.
オグリーキャップこの状況どう見ますか
これはきっと作戦でしょう。彼女には爆発的な末脚があります。
先頭は
Boxing, please trip that Falcon.
2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのは5番桜爆信号後ろ9番エルコンドルパッサー内で4番桜爆信号第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう
Ooh, we're on the corner already.
勝負どころ最後の直線へとかけていきます。
5番桜爆信号ここで抜け出した高い目足を止め
Okay,
て
my Pasa got
果たして抜け出す
completely passed though.
まだ抑えたままだ残り40
I still hit Sparkly.
最初に立ち上がったのは5番桜爆信号スマートファルコン抜け出したリングを開いていくスマートファルコン
Wow, no stopping me turbo sprint isn't enough?
スマートファルコン突き放すスマートファルコン
Really?
スマートファルコン今ゴールインスマートファルコン見事に制しました2着には4番桜爆信号
Wait, I think didn't my boxing hit both turbo sprint and no stopping me?
優秀ですね
And I still lost to the Falcon? Alright, maybe they just hit their own turbo sprint? I mean, this is 0.4 Excel, but... That's great. Oh, Ogre has died. Ogre did not win the room. Alright, last room, and then we'll check to see if the schedule has dropped.
4番春うらら寒さ続く
I'm surprised my Turf C Haru won.
スタートです各馬娘揃って綺麗なスタートを切りました
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
最高峰から
Higher top speed.
春うらら大丈夫
I mean, yeah, they had Winter Runner, Double
こ
Circle,
こからの
and
巻き返しに期待です。
uh,
さあ花に立ったのはスマートファルコン
Turf, or
このまま
Sprint
リード
S.
することができるか先頭から大きく離されて2番手は9番エルコンドルパサーそのうち並んで1番桜爆心王そしてその外を回って6番エルコンドルパサー第4コーナーカーブ
I was just surprised.
だわそれだ
馬娘たちがどう動くか。
Is the schedule out?
まだ先頭は動かない
What makes Falcon strong? Yeah, if she hits her ult, I mean, it's like Pasa ulting. It's just a Pasa ult. If she triggers it here. Well, I couldn't tell if she triggered it here. But like Pasa and Smart Falcon basically have the same ult.
残り200 1番桜爆心王ここで抜け出した先頭1番桜
This is still a boxing though.
その差はわずかお見事1番桜爆心王着
You hit Mummy, Pasa, and her own ult?
勝利を飾った2着は
Wait, so I passed you, and then you hit Mummy?
レジロドーベル
That's crazy.
いじけてなんてないです
6,
よ
7, 9. Oh, schedule's out. Let me look at this boxing real quick. Actually, a pretty good boxing. Got head on as well. Okay, let me mute the game real quick. Alright, let's see what's on here. The all banner. This is not a Smart Falcon banner. This is the all banner. The friend card. The second half of the New Year's event, which is, I think, the scam banners, or the paid gacha banners. The Sprint Cup. Sakura Chihono Yo. The friend cards rerun. The Valentine's event with the Valentine's cards. The Valentine's event. Metro Ardon. And then the Legend races. I had on here. Oh, I had on here that the Dirt CM would be this month. Or at least like the announcement for the Dirt CM would be this month. But it looks like it's next month. So let me delete that. So it looks like we slowed down even more then. Actually, wait, no, let me not delete that. Let me move this to March. Oops. February 9th is pretty early for the CM. Well, it's not that early. Let me put this here. Ooh, my eyes. Why is it so big? And then we will go over all the items. So the... Oops. There we go. If Dirt is later, does it overlap with Mant? There's a chance, yeah, that like the finals you can use the new scenario for. So let's see, how far off was I? This is indeed the 5th. Alright, let me highlight all of this. So this is all this month. So I was right about that. This is on the 11th. Actually, never mind. I don't think anything changed. This is on the 18th and not the 16th. And then Metro Ardon was the 25th. Okay, so it's not that much slower. I was just off a couple of days. Okay, I'll do all the other stuff later. I just want to go over the items here. So the first item is the friend card. You should not Pete. Like, this card is useless. It has a 60% mood bonus. And that's it. Like... There's like nothing else. It has like purple cards. Like all of her dates are gambles. Like the only use case for this is to run a level 30 version if you were a graded league player. Yeah, she is literally just there to troll your SSR pulls. But you can hit her random events to get like some like the of the purple skills to lower your rating. Purple stamp skill works for Christmas surgery. I mean, sure. You can drain 2% off of corner recovery. But like this card is useless. This comes out with the all banner run. And I think Tamamo crosses the SR. Though I don't really talk about the SRs. That is that first banner. With that first banner, we should have the Racing Carnival. I'm surprised we haven't gotten any information on it yet. But the Racing Carnival will look like... Wait, how do I move this? There we go. will look like this. Like this is the this right here is what the UI looks like. So you can face against Grass Wonder, King Halo, Saiyan Sky, or Special Week. And then I have their stats as they were on the Japanese server down here. They have like 600 to 700 stats across the board. Shouldn't be too hard to beat them. You want to do this will use your RP, which is like the Team Trials energy or like the carrot jellies that you have. But you do these to get like points, very similar to the Team Trials, where it's like skill activations, your placement, etc., gets you more points. And they'll give you, they'll let you access the shop. There's gonna be a daily mission every time to race against them to get one of like your RP back. So if you do a race against them, you'll get that RP that you used every day back. So you always want to race against each one time every day. And then as you're racing against these four, it'll fill up this gauge next to Pasa, which is the is like the, I guess it's the, what is it called? Challenge race, that's what it's called. And once you fill up that bar, you can roll either the very hard version of Pasa, which has these stat lines here, or you can roll the extreme version, which has like across the board, what, 1,000, 800, 1,000, 800, 1,000-ish. And if you fight her very hard version 3 times, then you'll always fight her extreme version on the 4th time. And it just gives you more points. If you fail to win, you can use another one of your RP to try again with like a stat bonus. I think it's 25% stat bonuses, and it keeps climbing every time you fail. So on average, like you should get like 1,500 points every time you race against one of them. Well, you get like about 1,000 when you race against one of these four, and then you get about 2,000 when you race against Pasa, like on average. And then like you want to try to earn 200,000 carnival points because there's a SSR crystal locked behind 200,000. There's this shop. The main rewards are like the top 4 right here, and you can buy all of this for about 200,000. So if you can get at least 200,000, you'll get the 2 rainbow crystal shards in here, the 2 gold shards, and 3 tickets of each type. You can continue doing the event if you want, like the Saiyan Sky fragments, which are people probably want, the special week fragments maybe. The rest of these kind of don't really matter. Like you don't need to buy out the shop. In order to earn more points, there is the Carnival skill, which is this right here. When you race with an Uma into like this race, they will inside their legacy, like the parent legacy, you will gain this spark that you can spark onto. You can guarantee like to spark onto the person you're training. So you can put a parent against one of these Umas. A parent will obtain this in their legacy, which gives you 10% extra points. And then you can train a new Uma that will have it. And then if you use that new Uma against one of these 4, you'll get a level 2 version, and they will keep going like this until you can cap out at level 5. I think this first one, it's a stat buff. Like you just get stat buffs across the board against these people. But it also like blankly just gives you more friend points or more points, which I don't remember what it was. Skill activation. No, I don't think this wiki has how many points it gives. Oh, never mind, it does. It's 100% at level 5. So you want to do this skill work in CM. No, it will only work for this event. It will also disappear once this event ends. Like it'll disappear from all your legacies and all of your skill trees or whatever. But yeah, you can get 2x from here. So you should probably do that if you want to like buy even more rewards, or if you can't use all of your carrots at once. I would say like on average, you get like 1,500 per race if you don't like participate in this carnival bonus stuff. And even if you average one 0.5 thousand points. It would take more than the RP that you would gain. Will the spark trigger on inspiration? No. It's just like at the end of the run, you just gain the skill. Like as long as the previous version was in your tree. I don't think you have to like buy it during your career. But that's like about the gist of the Racing Carnival. Like it's gonna take you 5, if you like get the level 5 version of the skill, it's gonna take you 5 runs. You do 5 runs, and then each time you fight against one of these 4 to gain the upgraded version to parent onto the next person. So this event realistically should only take you 5 like training runs, and then you have to use your RP, which is like that team trials energy, and then you should be able to finish up this event pretty easily. Especially if you have a lot of carrot jellies inside your... Especially if you have a lot of carrot jellies inside of your like bank or like in your inventory. Next step, raising Umas to get the skill from the parent. No, I'm saying that you get the skill I'm pretty sure you get the skill right away. Like it's not a skill you buy. It's just something that needs to be in your legacy. I'm pretty sure, at least. I don't think you need to inherit it. I might be wrong on that. I haven't done the Racing Carnival in forever. But I don't remember... Well, actually, I usually don't even bother with the skill. I don't think you need to inherit it. It might have to be sparked, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I don't remember it having to be sparked. Now you're putting a seed of doubt in my mind. I don't know. We'll know when we get there. You don't. It's not like necessary to do it to get your 2,000 points. I think like you can brute force 150 runs. You can get about like 100-ish. So if you have like 50 carrot jellies, you can kind of just brute force the event and not bother with the... I mean, you should, if you care about the only rewards out of this is like obviously the extra points and 100, like a single pull for having level 5. Anyways, that's the entire thing on the Racing Carnival. I think it'll make more sense once it comes out. Can use multiple RP per run. Yeah, you can like refight them. That's why I'm saying like you can brute force it with carrot jellies. Like it's not a once a day thing. I just said like 120 because this event usually lasts about a week, and you know you can get 12 per day, and then you can get 5 tries back, so you can like do about 17 a day, without like using any of your carrot jellies, and also assuming you never touch team trials during the event, you can do 17 a day. But I just assumed about 10 to 15-ish per day. I assumed like I think 12 because you might want to do team trials still. But once you get like a good team trial points, you probably don't need to. You can probably just dump it all into this event. But now that I don't remember how the... I might have to double check on the inheritance. That's everything about the Racing Carnival. I mean, just get 200,000, buy the shard, buy these top 4 items, and then you can farm a little bit more if you want like Saiyan Sky pieces, which I will do. Like I'll farm 1,500 or 15,000 more points to get 10 Saiyan Sky pieces. All right, the next item on here, I mean, is the Capricorn Sprint, which we were doing practice rooms earlier today. Not really much going on about the sprint. It's just like basically a gamble. After or during the sprint, Chihonoyo, Sakura Chihonoyo should come out. And she is a mile medium pace chaser. Let me go to global version. She is kind of weak. She has a weaker version of like Kiseki's ult, I'd say. Chiyo, no, yeah. Sorry, my bad. I think just like anytime you have a 0.35 target speed, like the good late race speed cards are 0.4 or cards. The good target speed increases are the 0.45s. And I mean the conditions aren't that hard to hit, right? 300 at the 300 meter or later, as long as there is one person a length in front of you and you are fourth place or higher, you can ult. So it's a pretty easy ult to hit. It's just not as strong as the 0.45s. She has Speed Star, which is pretty strong, right, on miles, especially if you can use it for carryover. Like you saw the Currens, the Pasas, they all can kind of get speed carryover, especially on that sprint with the final corner random. And miles, sometimes you can misfire on a mile if you like hit the last 10 meters of the final corner. But anytime it triggers before the final or before the late race, you can use it for carryover usually. It's just a little weak because you should try to get off of Fine Motion, and then in the fourth scenario, you should try to get off of Agnes Tachyon if you're playing Pace Chasers. So like Speed Star isn't, while it's a good skill, it's not like in demand to be in a potential. I think you would rather want like some other potentials, but it is like pretty good if if you get unlucky from Fine Motion or I don't think Tachyon can fail to give you Speed Star, but I guess you can fail the event chain. But it's a good skill. The only issue is like her other skill is Spring Spectacle, which means that one of your potentials is only activated for a fourth of the year, right? Like getting your Spring skill activated for a fourth of the year kind of sucks, or one of your potential skills, especially if it's like a long track or a sprint that she can't, like she's a lot weaker in, or at least a lot harder to run in, and like it's during the spring. Her evos give her 1 more second onto Speed Star, or way more than 1 more second, twice the duration on Speed Star, which is pretty strong, or it can increase current speed on a medium track. And then her other evo just gives her 20 plus 20 to both stats on spring races. I don't think she's like that weak. Like she's definitely runnable. I put her like C B tier. I don't think she'll ever be like the meta choice for a track, but she is pretty strong with her evos. Yeah, it's a little bit of an Oshi pick, but I mean 2x Speed Star is like a pretty good skill, right? Like you're gonna always want that, a 4-second 0.35, or a current speed increase on any corner during the middle leg is pretty good. I mean, it saves you a couple of seconds. It saves you like half a second where you have to accelerate to your new top speed. It's just like there's just better options out there, but she's not so weak that like you cannot win with her. But that's gonna be that banner. After the sprint to CM, we have the Valentine's event during the. Actually, it almost clips onto Valentine's, right? It's the 18th, I think. It's just on the 18th, is what they said. So 4 days after Valentine's, we will have the Valentine's event. And that comes with Aishin Flash and Mihino Bourbon. Aishin Flash is generally a late surger, the Valentine's version. You want to run her as a late surger because she needs to pass 3 people. She needs to pass up 3 people at the final corner. Or no, 2 other people, I think. Wait, hold on, let me see. If you've overtaken at least 2 other people after entering the final corner, then on the final straight, your speed increase, yeah. And it's a little harder, like on Pace Chaser. I mean, she can also be ran at its end. Pace Chaser is just hard to guarantee that there's 3 people in front of you during the late race or the final corner and beyond. So usually aim for like later end. Just decent growths for mediums and longs. And this is a 6-second ult of 0.35. So it's not as strong as a 0.45, but because a 0.45 gives you 0.5 more. Yeah, the 0.45 I think gives you 0.15 more target speed total. Sounds like but it is not as weak as like a 5-second target speed 0.35 increase. It's like in between 8.45 and the regular 0.35 5-second ones. She has Dominator for long tracks. If you want to make her a debuffer for some reason. And then she has Flash Forward, which is random straight on a medium track. Which is just the gold version of medium straightaways, I believe. Yes. Which kind of isn't that great of a skill if you activate it like early, or especially if you're not like going for like a lucky pace promote, or if it activates too late. Her Evo for it is decent, or actually it's pretty good. It's not decent. But current speed increase during the late race will always be good, because ideally the best time to activate a current speed increase is when you're still like going to your top target speed, like during your acceleration phase. So if you can, and even if you don't hit it during your acceleration phase, it's still a speed increase skill. But you would want to hit it while you're still not at top speed, which this is pretty strong. Like it's either a current speed is either a 1 second of instant excel, or 4 seconds of a regular target speed increase skill. But that way you can turn Dominator into like an actual skill. I think Symboli also has a current speed increase skill. Or you can turn it to a 7.5 recovery skill if you want for some reason. I think I literally only see people take this option. And then Photon Flash just gains more target speed increase on her second Evo. So I don't think she's... I mean, it's just like, she's not that strong, right? You're a late surger on like a medium track. Both these skills can only be used on medium tracks. But you do have access to, you know, Metro Orion, Metro Dover. Maybe you go for like on the Derby. You go for all of that into Marozensky ult. But she is very shoehorned into medium tracks, especially once, because Photon Flash could, like, this is a medium straightaway skill. Evo's like, her whole kit screams medium. Like, she needs to be on a medium track, and like it's really hard to fulfill her conditions on her ult if she's paced. So you run late searcher, because end closers on a medium track aren't as strong without encroaching shadow. Will Eva skills drop with Mant? We don't know. Like, no one knows. Nobody can give you a confident answer unless they work at Cygames and they're leaking it for some reason. Like, we don't know. But I have been going over Eva's skills for like the past month. Well, actually, ever since we got the half anniversary update, I've been going over Eva's skills, because there's a chance that it pops up. That's Action Flash. Her kit is meant for the, like, it just meant for the Derby, realistically. Next up, we have Mihono Bourbon Valentine's, which is the wheelchair frontrunner, as everyone calls her now. She can run any distance except dirt. But she can basically run every distance. She has 10% across these 3 stats. Which is like all the good stats, realistically. Her skill is a mid-race that also recovers stamina if you're 4th place or higher during a corner. Sometimes Ogre Christmas also uses this, right? Like, the recovery on this is absolutely useless for anyone outside of Ogre Christmas or Christmas Ogre, because this is a 0.35 recovery skill. So like, you will not recover any stamina from inheriting this. But this will always activate during a mid-race corner, as long as someone's behind you, which on some tracks could be useful if like the 3rd corner clips into, or the 3rd corner is closer to the late race. Yeah, I guess it'll also work for Summer Marzinski if you didn't want to like grab another recovery skill, and it's still a 0.15 target speed increase. But this is just a better version of anyone else who has a mid race because it comes with like recovery. She comes with Escape Artist, which is a very strong skill on 2 very bad cards. This will always happen during the mid race, and it's just a like pretty much guaranteed. Like, I mean, maybe there's 6 front runners and you're in 6th place and you lose Escape Artist, but if you are a front runner, you should essentially be able to hit Escape Artist. I guess if you're running triple front and you face against someone who is running triple front and somehow your concentration Mihono Bourbon drops into 6th place, you can lose Escape Artist. She comes with Groundworks, and then she comes with Concentration. So the only issue with her is that you can't get taking the lead. Right, and that's a pretty big issue. It's just she minimizes so much of the like the RNG of hitting everything that like she has so much fail safes when you're training her career that you can hit a higher high, like you can hit more skills than other Umas who are bringing Mihono Bourbon Wit, the welfare card. Yeah, she also has early lead from the secret event, so you're losing 0.2 excel for 1.2 seconds from taking the lead, which can decide some things, right? Like you are not running Twin Turbo in her deck, and it's like you could lose the opening leg off of 0.2 excel, but because you have Groundworks, Concentration, and Escape Artist with 1 green already, you can just run so many more consistent runs that can hit the stat goals, hit the other skills that you want, that kind of make up the difference between that and taking the lead. Plus, she's like perfect for Mant because she has the ideal distances. You need 1 mile spark. You can run long B, but you can run 1 mile spark in your grandparents to be able to run every distance for races in Mant. Yeah, and then the other thing that I was arguing about taking the lead is that you don't have to run this dog card. This card, like, people have like 800 wit because they have to run this card for taking the lead. She has 20% friendship bonus and 5 race bonus, 5% training effectiveness, and 20% friendship bonus. Like, this card is going to be really bad. Like, you will be able to see somebody's stat line and be like, oh, they must have ran a dead card, because like everyone says that you need a 10% rate, like you need really high race bonus, and then like 20% friendship bonus is like nothing. This card's just really bad. You're just kind of forced to run it because there's not enough other stuff that you can do. Like, you will it's really hard to like get early lead, right? Like, maybe you can drop this if you had early lead in your parents, but you could also just run the card. But Mihono Bourbon doesn't need to do that. As long as you win, where is it? Yes, at Valentine's Day. So during the Valentine's event, you need to have 60,000 fans, which should be really easy to do. I don't think anyone should be missing early lead. 60,000 fans is winning, I think the Derby. I think you have to win the Derby and the Kikua show. And you will get 60,000 fans without doing any other races. But you should also obviously be doing other optional races. But Derby gives you 20,000. Kikua show gives you 12,000. You should have like 80% fan bonus in your decks. Like, you should be able to have this as Valentine's Day. She also has Charming, but it's not like it's guaranteed or anything. But you do get Valentine, like, this is basically guaranteed early lead. And then you can use your hint books, on Escape Artist, on Groundworks, on Concentration, on Fast Pace, on Focus, to make like the skills that you're running on every single track essentially pretty cheap. The costume events is available in Mant. Yeah, the costume events are available in Mant. Like, I'm pretty sure like you'll still have like the other events with choices. It's just like the career stuff isn't in it. But But yeah, and also like you won't have these secret events where you do the derby for the final push or the Kikua show triple crown for straightaway excel. Can you buy aptitude in Mant? No. What? No, you just run one grandparent spark for miles. 60k fans of the unique level one? I think so. No, that's not Valentine. That's FanFest Day, but it's like sometime after the Valentine's Day. That's Mihono Bourbon. Like I don't know where this is like coming from. Like every other server ran Mihono Bourbon. So I don't know where like this is coming from, where it's like somehow global is smarter. The global who doesn't run any fronts is smarter, and oh, you can't get taking the lead, so she's glue. Like Mihono Bourbon is just like the wheelchair like Uma to make for front runners. Like if you have nothing, if you don't want to grind out a CM, you can just build a Mihono Bourbon if you want to run front runners. But I'm a little annoyed at like the sentiment that people think that she's not usable because you can't get taking the lead. As Maru, like I said, I was just like, it's not realistically worth pulling. Like she's the best front runner, but it's like really annoying to build. But this is like wheelchair. There's no way you cannot get one more green. Just buy concentration, you buy groundworks, you buy frontrunner savvy. You need to find one more green for this. Actually, you don't even need to find one more green. You could just buy early lead and do a triple wit check. Like she should at the bare minimum be able to proc groundworks, even if it's a triple wit check for it. That's me on a bourbon. You're running early lead instead of taking the lead, and you're meant for Mant because you can run every distance. It's not worth bringing your sprint up. There's never a sprint that you would realistically need to run. But yeah, she's pretty strong on fronts as a front runner. But you would have to just dedicate your build. Like you would have to really want to run front runners, right? You have to dedicate your build around it. Also keep in mind that like she's strong, but Mant is also like when like the three main races are gonna be the 2000 meter, the 2400 meter, and the 2200 meter medium tracks. I mean she's strong during the mile, right? But these three tracks are also in Christmas Ogre are strong. Not Christmas Ogre is not that strong on the Tokyo on the Derby, but half of the races you will also see Christmas Ogre. So Christmas Ogre will be in half of them. Like, but I mean, front runners should be strong on the mile here, maybe the sprint here, and then I mean you can still try to contend against a Christmas Ogre. Yeah, you can run. This is Mant is when like the meta where like everyone jokes about the meta being S Maru Mihono Bourbon Christmas Ogre versus double debuffer Christmas Ogre. That was like the Mant meta. Some of the strategies weren't like the strongest, right? But the most memorable thing about these six CMs was two front runners leashing a Christmas Ogre and Christmas Ogre with double dom. That's enough about Mihono Bourbon. I'm a little heated that people like think that she's weak. I think it's by extension like people who say that Christmas Ogre is also weak. It's like they're meta for a reason, right? They are still stronger than other things. Like other things can win. It's not like meta means that you will have 100% win rate. It's just they are one of the stronger options. Tosin Jordan is the card during the event. Tosin Jordan has... I thought this was 10% race bonus, but I didn't realize this was 5% training effectiveness. She's pretty weak as a speed card, right? 5% race bonus, 20% friendship bonus, 10% TE, no mood up. So like she's not that great at roaming. She's like mediocre at friendship training. Her skills, which she has a decent, which she has no hint bonus for actually. Never mind. She has 20% here. Is like mediums and pace straightaways, but she also has position pilfer because she is a pace chaser late surger. But she does give breath of fresh air, which right now can still misfire, right? You can hit it on the first straight or the last straight. But breath of fresh air does get changed at the 2nd anniversary balance patch to trigger only during the mid race. But this can also not give it to you, right? This will depend on how much speed you have when you trigger this event. And the higher speed you have, the higher chance you have to actually get breath of fresh air. But I don't think, like, the card's not strong for training speed, but if you need a recovery skill and you want to gamble on breath of fresh air, it is fine. Yeah. Let me go back to Bourbon because I forgot about her evolution skills. This is not the right Bourbon. Eva skills. So Eva skills are concentration and escape artist. Escape artist can gain a recovery in it, which isn't that needed. You'll take the other one, which is increasing the escape artist to 4 seconds. As long as your wisdom's over, like, maxed out or higher, which it should be. And then concentration gives you all stats up plus 10, which aren't that strong. Like, there will be better frontrunners in the future until like the 9th, 10th scenario where frontrunners are completely dead because they stop printing cards for them. So when we say like in the future frontrunners are dead, it's like around. It's like around the 9th to the 10th scenario. So like we're still super far off before we're like in the Japanese current meta where nobody runs frontrunners. Where is it? Scenario dates. It's like around Mecha Uma Musume and Twinkle Legends, where like people don't really play front runners anymore, and they only do like, like runaway chariots and stuff like that. It's like around this area, basically around when, like it was around when I started quitting. Like probably around where Air Shakur released. Twinkle Legends, it was pretty dead with Orfevre releasing. But Mecha Uma Musume, they were already kind of on a decline. Yeah, maybe Gentle Donna is a better spot to like say when they died. I would say it's like when around Mecha Uma Musume. Where they really started falling out of favor and they just kind of haven't been picked back up yet. But maybe Gentle Donna is a better time to say it. But it's like somewhere between this gap is like where like we've kind of noticed like, oh, they don't really print front runner stuff anymore, so it's pretty weak. So we're still pretty far off, and like we also joke, it's League of the Heroes jailed, right? Which if you run front runners in here, like you should be guaranteed plat 4, or sorry, not plat 4, plat 1. No, plat 4. But if you want to go for 96, you have to buy the newest Uma for it. Any reason why they killed fronts? Yeah, I just think like they just don't print front runners anymore. Like they don't print actual Uma front runners, so like why would they support them? Because no one's gonna pull on the supporter cards, right? No one's gonna like pull on the supporter. Like Mihono Bourbon Power, like there's just not enough front runner Umas being printed. Like any of the big ones, like I mean, like Almond Eye's gonna be printed, Forever Young's gonna be printed. It's just like, I don't know why I keep saying printed. It's gonna be released, and it's just like there's not enough front runner Umas to release. I think most of the horses are pace chasers, which is why we see so many pace chasers, is because a lot of actual horses just run that position. But I think they just release cards for them because, like, I mean, everything recently even has been being printed for Pace Chasers. So they just stopped giving as much love to front runners later on. All right, moving on to the two cards, which is Nishino Flower Wit and Sakura Bakushin Guts. Nishino Flower Wit is a pretty weak card. She gives she gives 3 wit bonus, which I think is the first time they've ever printed this. But she has no race bonus, so it's kind of hard to run her. You also have to have 100% friendship gauge with her to get the +3. But she is also the only card to ever give you Determined Ascent, which is the gold version of downhill descent. Straight descent. She's the only card that ever gave this skill out. It's a pretty weak card overall. No race bonus. Have to have max gauge for +3 wit. Pretty weak card. But if you like gambling on Determined Descent, I guess, I don't know. Just a really good events from Nishino Flower, which is the Charming one, and then the 15 stats. But I wouldn't think about this card at all. Sakura Bakushin Guts is kind of interesting. She's literally just she's just a roamer. She has 35% friendship bonus on Guts with no specialty priority, and then she has 20% training effectiveness when you have her rainbow unlocked. So you'll get 20 TE on any other training that isn't Guts, but if it is Guts, you get the 35% friendship bonus. However, I mean, she also has the 10% race bonus. Like, you might see Whales run this in a Guts deck during Mant, because the roaming here, while having a strong friendship bonus with 0 specialty priority, is like kind of made for Mant. She's a sprinter. She has a whole bunch of sprinter stuff, and then actually you might borrow this if you're planning on the sprint, because the first chain event gives Groundworks. It has 10% race bonus. What? What do you mean that's 0? But this card has Groundworks, which is why I'm saying it's like more of a whale card, because whales usually want cards that have the skill they're looking for in the event chain. And then she gives you In High Spirits, which is a new skill where you gain target speed if you're 5th place or higher during the later half of the phase, which is kind of like it can be used. It's always going to be outside of position keep. But I mean, this has 10%. Like it has some use, especially on sprints. Like you're gonna want. Okay, you will be using a gut statics on sprint because there's no point in training anything else. Like you can go for the high roll on all 3. So this is gonna be a really decent card for the sprint at the end of the scenario. But I mean, I wouldn't pull for it. Also, for some reason, it can not give you the gold skill on a gacha card, which I feel like is always weird. Like I feel like this should be like a welfare card only mechanic. I don't know why they would print this on like a card that they're giving. But like obviously you shouldn't pull for this, but I just wanted to run over this card in case you want to borrow it for Groundworks. Then we have Medro Ardon, who is a pace chaser. She has 10% speed, 20% wit, and she's generally ran. She can be run in all 3 distances, but her kit is meant for a medium track because of Prepare to Die. Oh wait, no, sorry. Come what may. I don't like that translation. Medro Ardon has the 0.45 target speed skill on the final straight. But it comes with a drawback, and it also lasts 4 seconds. But I guess it's easy to trigger, which is a little bit different from, like, you know, Triumphant Pulse. But it's a 4-second 0.45, so it's 80% as long, while also draining 1% of your stam. But the only conditions is that you're on that last straight, and there's somebody behind you, a length behind you, or within a length behind you. She gives you Race Planner, which is the recovery skill for pace chasers, and then she gives you Prepared to Die, Come What May, which is a pace chaser last spurt target speed increase. Yeah, you can see this is why I keep calling it Prepared to Die, because that's what the translation was when I played the game. Her recovery skill Evo gives her 0.15 target speed increase for 2 Race Planner, and then this one just gains 0.1 target speed increase. I have like her, you know, CB tier, can only be ran in mediums realistically, because you lose come what may. So another Uma, you know, for the Derby, for the Osaka High, for the 2200 even. But she is a pace chaser. Wouldn't really run her miles because you would want a mid-race ult for miles. And then with her release, the card is Agnes Digital, the power card. Agnes Digital requires you to run a somewhat Highlander deck. You need to have 5 different types of supported cards. So, like, for example, 2 speed, 1 stam, this card, 1 power, a friend card, and like a wit card, which is really awkward to build. Because you want to stack the same types of cards so you can stack your trainings and like chase double, triple rainbows. Otherwise, you just have no access to her training effectiveness. Pretty weak friendship bonus for a power card, but it does come with 1 power bonus. Has 5% race bonus, so a little bit harder to bring to the next scenario. And her skill, however, is kind of useful. Lead the Charge is a mid-race. It's like Meticulous Measures. It's a mid-race random or late race random. Actually, it's not like Meticulous Measures. It's a late race random skill where you can get increased acceleration. Does make it easier to parent, right, for forward march, because the jump between this part is where it's similar to Meticulous Measures, where the jump from the white to the gold is only 0.1. So on a dirt track, if you want to gamble, you kind of want forward march. And this makes it a little bit easier to find it while you're parenting. It also is a card that gives you Uma Stan when it has 50% hit frequency and 3% hit levels. But like, you can either use this card in parents for Uma Stand or Lead the Charge. Or if you somehow just get Uma Stand from or you can get Forward March and Uma Stand both from the hint pool, as well as the last chain event. So it's a pretty decent card to borrow, you know, for parent runs, or to get spooked a copy of. Just because chain events having the skill that you want to inherit is really good. In an actual ace deck, like, I think it's too weak as a power card. But that's like the main benefit of this card. I think that's everything. I think we are finished. Really short schedule. 8 items. Well, there's also the Legend Race with Hishi Amazon, Mitro Dober, and Gold City. And those ones will be in the daily Legend Race at the 2nd anniversary. This Legend Race here is the start of the 2nd anniversary daily Legend Races. So they'll be like 9 months off from daily Legend Race. You're surprised this isn't a double CM month? Yeah, I had it estimated that it was a double CM month, right? I had it here. I had it literally on the starting on the last day of February. So I guess that's not. Oops, that's not that. Like they just moved this to the first. Like it's most likely it's gonna be the first of the, or like the. It's gonna start on the first, so it'll actually start like on the 5th of March. But I mean, the next month is pretty short, right? February is going to be 28 months or 28 days long. It is 28 days this year, right? Yeah, so it's just a shorter month in general. Okay, it's every four. Okay, it is every 4 years. Every time it's an even year, I get scared that I'm off. Yeah, just a shorter month in general. But anytime I'm like yapping about these, like I will always update it in the spreadsheet, right? So you don't have to watch me for it. You can just read my notes, since I kind of read off my notes too to remember what I thought about it. Racing Carnival should start within the first week. We got a notice for it last time, like, right? Did we get a notice where it was where they said that the Racing Carnival was soon? Where was it? Not this. Wasn't there something? I thought there was a notice that said that it was coming soon. Next month is pretty chill. I mean, New Year's and the the every 1 year anniversary, like the real anniversary, will always like be really big. Like it worst case, like if you don't know what to pull, always save for the New Year's and the anniversary stuff. Like even on the current Japanese server, right? They just had their New Year's event, and in 3 weeks they're gonna have their 5th anniversary. Like those cards will always be really strong, and those cards will always have free pulls. So usually there's like always a downtime between that New Year's and the 5th anniversary. Do I personally think Evo skills will drop soon? I don't know. I don't think so. Like I feel like that's too much of a change. The CMs during Mant without Evos wasn't. I guess it was kind of boring because it was Christmas Ogre and Double Front. But I don't think they would add Evos now. I don't know. I'm kind of on the side that it wouldn't add it. I think for a Grand Live, like with the new stat increases, they would add it. But I can't imagine they do both balance patches within the first year. I guess is my thought. Because like the second balance patch, I feel like is, I don't know, not necessary. But it isn't. Evos are nice, right? Like I would have skills on my Haru, kind of, not really. I'd have, I've had it. I would get a gamble on Haru if I really want to win. I guess I get a 0.5 target speed increase with the other one. But I get a 0.3 gamble on Haru. We have to do tennis show without the update to deep breaths, or without the update to straights, though. It would be cruel. Yeah. I mean, this stamp check CM is kind of just, do you own Super Creek or not? But I think I'm on the side that Evos wouldn't come out early. But I mean, I could be wrong, right? That's why I'm not saying yes or no. I'm being on the fence. Sorry, let me update the rest of this. When did they increase the veteran lists? they increase it by like 10 every anniversary. So like at the first anniversary we'll get like another 10 increase. That's generally how they do it. When is this thing starting? Oh, it's actually the 9th. How do I color this? All right, I'm gonna just do a little bit of admin work on this, and then I think I'm gonna end the stream. I do want to talk about my schedule for next month, though. For next month, I can only stream in PST time. I can only stream Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. Except for the CM, I will stream because I have to go out of town on the other 4 days after work. So I can only stream 3 times a day, 3 times a week for the next month. Except for CM, I'll come back and try to stream all of it, though I probably have to play some jobber hours. But those are going to be the 3 days. I'm going to be streaming 3 days a week. And then we'll probably just do more sprint CM rooms. I'll try to stream longer on those 3 days. So no stream tomorrow, and then I'll be back the day after. What is this? Oh shoot. Kind of forgot how every time I do this, I forget how I do this. Is this 36? Yes. Oh yeah, now it's decimated for the first. And then I drag this down to here, and then I move this to 35. And then we copy and paste this. Oops. Over. Okay, I can't paste this over here. What's the number? 453. Where is it? 453. 1.453. I guess it did slow down. It went from 146.8 to 145.3. Bolt Creek instead of weight cards, you're kind of forced to pull in the upgrade and find mode so you don't break all of your runs for Mint. You think Picker plus 1 Spark, where it should be enough for Limit Break 3. Yeah, usually 200 pulls gives you 2 copies, right? Because that's why we say 400 pulls. You should go for, or like Max Limit Break should generally take 400 pulls, because you're pretty high chance you get 4 copies, and then the 5th copy is always like the coin flip, right? It's a 57% chance when you're going for 5 copies. But I think if you're aiming for 2 copies, then usually you can get away with 200. Because in 200 pulls, you should, on average, you get 1. Obviously, you could be unlucky, but the odds are in your favor to get 1 copy in 200 pulls. All right, I think I'll finish the rest of this up probably tomorrow, like just cleaning up everything here. Next week, we should have all of the items here. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Which is just like more like the, first Annie or the 3rd scenario, story events. There's nothing next time that really is that important. Week 3, usually the trainer proficiency exams going forward is going to be about 2 weeks after the start of the new scenario. They'll rerun the trainer proficiency exam. This one's a little bit longer to get through just because Mant is such a long scenario. Also with this, we'll have the 3rd set of missions for the tutorial, like Master Trainer's Road. And that comes with the round 2 supporter scout ticket, which is the scout ticket that they gave us like a week ago, where you guys can get a random ticket from that. Actually, I don't remember what was in the pool. But there's gonna be that mission during week 3, and then maybe the ballroom stuff comes in, though right now it's estimated for the last day, like the last 2 days of March, so maybe not. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's stream. Thank you guys all for watching. You guys can always ask questions in my Discord. Maybe I'll answer them. I've been kind of like on and off on being as active on the Discord. But yes, February, like usually the month before a scenario should be a little bit like light on items. But thank you guys all for watching today. I will catch you guys all later. Bye bye. Where's my hand?